Have you ever wondered what it feels like to be the shadow in your own family? The person who stands just out of the spotlight, always watching someone else bask in the warmth of parental pride? What if your wedding day, the supposed happiest day of your life, became a painful reminder that you were never the favorite child? For Rebecca, this wasn't just a hypothetical question. It was her reality. Rebecca had always known her place. Her younger sister Melina seemed born to shine. From spelling bees to runway lights, Melina excelled. She was the picture-perfect daughter, the one whose framed photograph dominated the living room wall above the fireplace. Every award she earned was celebrated with parties, and every milestone was treated like a royal event. Meanwhile, Rebecca, bright, capable, but ordinary in her parents' eyes, quietly built a career in software development. Her achievements were acknowledged with polite nods, never with the same beaming pride reserved for Melina. Favoritism in families is more common than many care to admit. A study published by the Journal of Marriage and Family found that 70% of mothers and 65% of fathers exhibit a preference for one child over others. But what happens when that favoritism isn't subtle? What happens when it dictates every major life event, even your wedding? When Rebecca met the man who truly saw her for who she was, she felt for the first time like she had stepped into her own light. He loved her wit, her coding skills, and her curves. All the things she had been made to feel were never enough. Their engagement was simple and beautiful, a promise of a life built on mutual respect. But when she shared the news with her parents, their response was chillingly silent. The absence of their excitement should have been a warning. Yet, she held on to hope. Hope that, just this once, her wedding might finally be an event where she mattered. It wasn't. Her parents never showed up. And what should have been a day filled with laughter and new beginnings became the ultimate confirmation of a painful truth. She would never be enough for them. Her sister's absence was expected, but her parents' empty seats at the front row carved a deeper wound than she could have imagined. What unfolded afterward was not just the unraveling of a family image, but a journey towards self-discovery. A small realization that the love she had always sought from her parents was something she would never receive. The real question became, could she be whole without it? This is a story about breaking free from the grip of parental favoritism, finding love where it's truly valued, and learning that sometimes the most powerful act of self-love is to stop asking for what others will never give. Family favoritism is a reality that quietly shapes lives, often leaving wounds that are hard to see but impossible to ignore. For Rebecca, this pattern was not just an occasional slight. It was the foundation of her childhood and adulthood. Her younger sister, Melina, had always been the golden child. Since the early 1990s, when they were growing up, the contrast was stark. Melina's success always drew applause. At just 7 years old, she was already standing on stage accepting spelling bee trophies and showing off ribbons from talent contests. As the years passed, her glow only intensified. By her teenage years in the mid-2000s, she had become prom queen, led student groups, and graduated with top honors. College brought even more achievements. Modeling gigs and a high-flying corporate career followed swiftly after. Rebecca's accomplishments, though noteworthy, were treated with far less enthusiasm. When she earned her computer science degree, it barely drew a comment from their parents. Her successes were acknowledged in passing, while Melina's milestones were celebrated with parties and photo displays on the family mantelpiece. This pattern became so routine that it embedded itself into the very fabric of Rebecca's identity. Beyond academic and professional comparisons, their mother's focus on appearance further drove a wedge between the sisters. Rebecca was regularly reminded that she fell short physically. Snide remarks about her weight and suggestions to follow diets or fitness classes became common. Her mother often highlighted Melina's slim figure as the standard Rebecca should aspire to. These comparisons slowly chipped away at Rebecca's self-worth. Studies by child development experts reveal that children who sense favoritism often struggle with anxiety, poor self-esteem, and depression. Rebecca's experience mirrored this research. Each family gathering served as a reminder that she was not the daughter they had envisioned. No matter how hard she worked, she remained second best. This emotional favoritism shaped Rebecca's view of her place in the family. It forced her to seek validation outside her home, eventually leading her to create a life with people who valued her for who she was, not for how she measured up against someone else. The pursuit of acceptance often forces individuals to mold themselves into someone they are not, simply to gain approval from those they hold dear. For Rebecca, the pressure to fit her parents' definition of success and beauty became suffocating. Their standards were clear: elegance, status, and public admiration. These ideals left little room for individuality or self-expression. Rebecca's parents were deeply concerned with how the family appeared to outsiders. They cherished admiration from their social circle, where achievements and appearances were currency. Maline's path aligned seamlessly with their vision. Her modeling career, designer outfits, and rapid climb in the corporate world made her the face they wanted to show. Rebecca, with her practical work in technology and her preference for comfort over glamour, did not fit the mold. This need to project perfection is not unique to Rebecca's family. Researchers studying social dynamics suggest that families often craft a flawless exterior to mask internal dysfunction. This creates an environment where members are valued not for who they are, but for how well they uphold that polished image. Rebecca's wedding planning made this dynamic painfully clear. Her simple, intimate celebration did not match the grandeur her parents had envisioned for their first daughter's wedding. Helping her select flowers or seating arrangements was not as enticing as booking upscale venues and couture gowns for Maline's future event. By skipping Rebecca's ceremony, her parents silently declared that her moment did not merit their presence. Over time, Rebecca realized she had been striving for acceptance from people who prioritized appearances over connection. Her healing began when she shifted her focus inward, toward a life where love, respect, and authenticity replaced the exhausting chase for validation. She learned that true happiness comes not from seeking approval, but from embracing the freedom to be herself. Moving forward from the pain of rejection is not easy. It is a process that often involves grief, self-reflection, and redefining what family truly means. For Rebecca, the realization that her parents would never change was heartbreaking, but it also set her free. She found strength in the people who supported her, her husband, friends, and chosen family. Each step away from the need for approval brought her closer to self-acceptance. Her journey proves that while the wounds of favoritism may never fully disappear, healing is possible. Sometimes the greatest act of courage is choosing to surround yourself with those who see your worth, even when those who should have loved you first never did. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more content that explores real-life experiences and personal growth. And remember, you deserve to be seen and valued always.